All right, golfers, if that slice into the next fairway is getting old, this one's for you.
That's right.
We're tackling the over-the-top swing,
Oh, yeah.
and we're
Right.
bringing in the heavy artillery data.
Data.
We want to help you groove that perfect swing, and we got some great excerpts from How to Fix an Over-the-Top Golf Swing.
Good stuff.
But here's where things get really interesting.
Uh-huh.
We're going deeper than just, like, your average tips and tricks.
Okay.
We're diving into some hardcore metrics.
All right.
3 specific numbers
Okay.
from the Sportsbox 3D golf app.
I like it.
Club head to hand thrust gap, swing direction,
Okay.
and over-the-top shoulder plane differential.
Now we're talking.
It's like having X-ray vision for your swing, right?
Absolutely.
You see those hitter flaws that are killing your distance
Yeah.
and your accuracy.
Robbing you.
Absolutely robbing you.
Yep.
So let's break down this first metric club head-to-hand thrust gap.
Okay.
Picture this. You're right in the middle of your downswing. This metric is measuring how far ahead
Uh-huh.
or behind your club
Yeah.
head is
Yeah.
compared to your hands.
At impact.
At that exact moment.
That moment of truth. Yep.
Moment of truth, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
A negative value here. So that means your club head is trailing behind your hands.
Uh-huh.
That's often a dead giveaway
Yep.
of an over-the-top move.
That's right.
So if you feel like you're always trying to scoop the ball at impact,
Right.
this might be your culprit.
It very well could be.
The article gave a great example here.
Yeah.
They talked about a golfer
Okay.
who had a measurement
Yeah.
of minus 6.5 inches.
Minus 6.5. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
His club head was lagging behind.
Behind. Way behind.
Way behind.
6.5 inches. That's a lot.
Can you even imagine hitting a golf ball
That's tough.
with your hands that far ahead of the club?
Yeah, you'd be lucky to make contact.
You'd be lucky to make contact. I don't even want to think about it.
No.
So how would our listener actually feel this during their swing? Any tips for sensing that?
You know, one thing you can really pay attention to is the feeling in your wrists
Okay.
as you're transitioning from the backswing down.
Right.
If you feel like you're really flipping at it,
Okay.
that could be a sign.
Got it.
Now, you know, a little lag can be good,
Right. Right.
especially for those fade hitters out there.
Of course, we want to mess with somebody's natural shot shape.
No, we don't want to mess with that.
But a big old negative number there, that's probably a sign something needs to change.
Probably, yeah, if it's that big.
All right, let's move on to metric number 2.
Okay.
Swing direction.
All right.
This one sounds pretty self-explanatory, right? Are you
Yeah.
swinging in into out?
Out to inner, into out.
There you go.
But it's a little more nuanced than that.
It is a little bit.
It's not just about where the club face is pointing.
It's the path.
It's the path of the club.
the whole path, yeah. So imagine your stance line,
Okay.
that invisible line connecting your heels,
Uh-huh.
and then picture your swing path
Yep.
in relation to that line.
Right.
So we're talking about the angle between those two lines.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's what we're measuring.
Got it.
Yep. That's your swing direction.
Okay.
A positive number
Okay.
means your swing is going more in to out.
Okay.
Negative, more out to in.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So if the article said a golfer had an 8-degree swing direction,
Okay.
what's that telling us?
So that golfer, they're swinging 8 degrees in to out relative to their stance line.
Okay.
So picture this, a right-handed golfer.
Okay.
Their club would start just inside their target line
Okay.
and then move to a point outside that line after they hit the ball.
Got it.
Yeah.
So we've covered how the club head's moving
Right.
in relation to the hands,
Yep.
the overall path of the swing.
Uh-huh.
Now let's zoom in on a really critical moment in the downswing
Okay.
with our third metric,
Right.
over-the-top shoulder plane differential.
Oh.
This one sounds a little intimidating, I'm not going to lie.
It does.
I'm like, not that.
It's not as bad as it sounds.
Once you break it down, it's pretty simple.
Okay.
So imagine a line running through your shoulders
Okay.
when you're set up to hit the ball.
Okay.
That's your shoulder plane.
Got it.
And this metric compares the angle of your club shaft to that shoulder plane.
Okay.
At a very specific point in your downswing,
Okay.
when your club shaft is pointing straight down
Okay.
towards the ground.
So a snapshot
Exactly.
in one specific moment.
Yep, a snapshot.
Okay.
And that's usually where that over-the-top move,
Right.
that's where it rears its ugly head.
It all makes sense now.
Right.
So how do we make sense of the numbers?
Okay, so
For this metric.
positive number means your club is above that shoulder plane
Okay.
at that critical point,
Which means
which could mean, potential over the top.
negative value, your club's below the plane.
Right.
We call that being laid off.
Laid off.
And then 0, that's the holy grail, right?
A holy grail.
Right.
Perfect alignment.
Got it. So the example in the article, the golfer had a negative value for this metric What's that telling us about their swing?
So that means at that split second in the downswing, their club was actually lower
Oh, okay.
than their shoulder plane. So they might be getting a little, what we call underplane.
So it's not just about avoiding over the top.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot, that Goldilocks swing.
Exactly. That's what makes these three numbers
Yeah.
really powerful. When you put them all together,
Right.
they give you that, like, total picture
Yeah.
of what's going on, not just like a peak here, a peak there.
It's like having a whole swing coach,
It is.
dissecting every single movement.
It's like having a coach in your pocket, basically.
Okay? So for our listener out there
Yeah.
who's really trying to get rid of that over the top, what's the one thing?
They need to take away from these three metrics.
I think the biggest thing is it's not about looking for that one
Right.
magic number
It's
or
what-
relationship. It's how they all work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's say you have a little bit of a negative hand thrust gap,
Okay.
but your swing direction is more in to out. That little bit of lag might actually be helping you hit that nice controlled fade.
Right.
But if you've got a big negative hand thrust gap and your swing path is way out to in,
Yeah, then we've got problems.
that's going to, send that ball into the rough. Yeah.
It's all about the whole picture.
It is. It's all about the whole picture.
And that's where having an expert can really come in handy.
Right.
The metric, it's the objective data, right?
It is.
But making sense of all that
Yeah.
and then putting together like a game plan based on your swing,
Right.
that's where a golf pro can really, absolutely work their magic.
100%.
The article mentioned that Sportsbox does consultations.
They do.
It's awesome. Our listener might want to check that out.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
But even before they do that, just knowing about this stuff
Absolutely.
and understanding these metrics,
Yeah.
that's a huge step in the right direction.
It's about empowering yourself,
Yeah.
knowing this stuff, you can start to see those little things in your swing and you're like, oh, that's why that shot happens.
And that is the power of data.
It is. It's amazing.
It's not just about the numbers themselves.
Right.
It's what you do with that information.
Exactly.
It's about unlocking your true potential out there.
Unlocking it, yeah.
Which actually brings us to our final thought-provoking question.
Let's hear it.
So, what's the question we should all be thinking about as we analyze our swings?
We've been talking about how these metrics can help fix an over-the-top swing, but it really makes me wonder, how much do these numbers actually change
Right.
across different skill levels in golf?
Oh, that's a good question.
Right.
Like, would a pro even have negative numbers in some of these?
Right.
Or would they be so fundamentally sound
Right.
that everything is just perfect?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Right.
I mean, there's always going to be some variation, right?
Of course, yeah.
Depending on somebody's swing style or even, if they're trying to hit a certain type of shot.
Right.
But I bet you'd see a much tighter range, and way more consistency
Right.
with those really good players.
It'd be like comparing a perfectly tuned machine to like
Right. Exactly.
a clunker.
Like, imagine comparing the data from, a high handicapper to a scratch golfer.
Right.
It would be fascinating.
Oh, absolutely.
You could, practically see their progress over time.
It's amazing.
It really is.
The power of data.
Knowledge is power, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The more you know about how your swing works,
Yeah,
the better you're going to be.
absolutely. Well, this has been awesome.
It has.
I feel like we just leveled up our golf game just by
I know. I feel smarter already.
talking about it. Yeah.
It's amazing how data can do that,
Right. With anything.
For anything, golf swings.
Yeah, exactly.
Investing.
Anything.
Whole applies.
So to all our listeners out there, I challenge you, go out, check out these metrics.
Yes, do it.
See what your numbers are.
See what's going on in that swing.
Right. And track them over time as you try to make changes.
Yeah, Trev.
You might be surprised
You'll learn a lot.
what you find out about your swing.
You will. And remember.
Even the pros are using this stuff.
That's right. Even the pros are analyzing.
They're always looking at data.
Absolutely.
That's just another tool, right?
That's right. To help you reach your potential out there.
Exactly.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Appreciate it.
Until next time, keep those swings smooth and those insights sharp.
We'll see you out there.